Hey guys! Oh, it's a chilly one, isn't it? Autumn is definitely here. Which brings me on to the subject of we've just had the equinox. So I see the Drove is open. So we're going to have a little chat about that and also stealth and what it means. It's just me. Steve's very busy. We leave tomorrow to go up to Scotland, and we've still got 101 things to do. So he's busy at the moment. He's gone to Wix, which gives me the perfect opportunity to quickly have a chat with you guys. So recently, I think it was September the 18th, the Drove reopened. For those that are unaware, the Drove is the byway that runs along the side of Stonehenge, which is a English heritage site. It's not, technically it belongs to all of us. It's a pagan site, although it is become a very tourist commercialised site now, which is sad. But the Drove, the byway, was closed, I'm going to say about 6 months ago. I think it was just before, I can't bloody remember if it was the winter solstice or after the winter solstice. I know it's been a long time, and the Drove was shut down, and it just recently reopened. Now, the byway is open to all public access, so whether you're walking it, you're in a van, you're in a car, you're on a motorcycle, whatever, it's open to every single person. But for a long time, a lot of people that live in vans or homeless people go down there. Which I mean, we've been down a few times. And it's an absolute beautiful place to park at for a couple of nights. But sadly, it's another park at that's slowly being destroyed. You've got people down there partying. You've got people down there throwing their rubbish about. It's just become a kind of a shanty town. So I guess their excuse to move people on was that obviously they had to do the road, but we all know that they were trying to keep that closed full time. I believe Arthur Pendragon, I mean, he's always fought for Stonehenge and for it to be free access. And he was working in the background. And they basically had no choice but to open the Drove. But my chat right now is that we've made a conscious decision not to do the Drove again overnight in our van, because what I've seen online, the minute it opened, it spread like wildfire. The Drove's open and everybody flocked down there. And I've seen the videos, I've seen the shorts, I've seen the TikToks, and it has become no different to what it was before, which is a real shame, because that they will close it. They'll find a way. They always find a way. No matter how much we fight it, they will find a way. It's overnight, it's just gone back to how it was. So we've made a conscious decision as soon as we heard it opened up and everyone was flooding there, that we will not ever go back down to the Drove, because we do not want to be a part of what's coming, because they will shut it, sadly, and we just don't want to be a part of that. So we can have a clear conscience knowing that we wasn't a part of it shutting down, because I'm telling you now it's going to happen. We go to Stonehenge for the summer solstice, but again, a couple of years ago we decided to stop that because it's over commercialised now. It doesn't, for me as a pagan, it doesn't have the same meaning anymore. So, which is sad, it's really sad. But let's all remember, guys, that the equinoxes and the solstices do not just happen at Stonehenge. You can go to any stone circle, you can go to any sunrise, you can go to any hill, witness the sunrise. The equinox and the solstice happens all over. It's not just, oh, it's Stonehenge, therefore it's only the equinox here. So those, if you are down there and you see this video, just, I know a lot of you do respect the land and you respect where you park up, but I guess, I mean, as guardians of the land, I guess we should all be telling each other if we see something that's, you know, you're starting a fire on the ground, should we as people be, should we poke our nose in and say, you know, dude, you know, can you not just put it on some stone or something? Do you have to, like, have all that rubbish there? Do you, you know, I understand people are homeless, I get that, and they have to be somewhere, but at the same time, we all have responsibility of this land. And if we're living on it, then surely we should be responsible and keep it clean, tidy, and respect the people that's also there, you know. Let's not be raving till God knows what time in the early hours and causing a scene. And most people down there have just parked up peacefully. I've been there many times. But yeah, so that's our thoughts on that. So the next thing I thought would be a really good chat, and I've often spoke about it, I mean Steve talk about it quite often, is stealth. Now you hear that word being branded about all the time. Oh, I'm stealthy, you have to be stealth. I don't think there's such a thing as stealth, to be fair. Steve said quite a long time ago, people don't care. People see a van, they walk past the van, they're not bothered, they're not even thinking. A lot of people we've met on the road, they're quite surprised. They've never heard of van life before. They know there's people that travel about and they're nomadic, but they've never heard of van life before, never heard of it. And basically they're not even worried about it. Of course you've got a few out there that, you know, they're keeping an eye on you, but then when you have a bunch of people that are so disrespectful to the land, they're going to tar us all with the same brush. And I said, I live in this van and I'm proud to live in a van. It's who I am. I'm nomadic and I'm proud of it. And in Luna, our cab was like a living room. So when we pulled up and we were staying the night and I dressed the front, I had cushions in the front, so it was like a little room. I had plants, hanging plants, my skulls are in the front, and it's like a little quiet area. The dog always sleeps there if the sun's out, and if I wanted to get in there and read a book, or Steve wanted some time out, we'd just get in the front and we'd chill out and we'd just enjoy, you know, that little bit of space. And I'm pretty sure when people walk past, they didn't care. They looked, I saw loads of people looking and they'd point, and most of the time they would smile. And then if we saw them outside, they would always chat and say, you know, your lifestyle's amazing and you always got that, I wish I could do it sort of thing. We've never had anybody be horrible to us at all. I think the vile people come from online. Nobody out there has ever been rude to us face to face. In fact, they've always been friendly. They've always asked if we needed anything, and they just ask questions about your lifestyle and want to know you a little bit more and understand it a little bit more. But to be stealth, I think any van now I walk past, I always wonder if it's got windows or not, especially the ones that haven't got windows. Does somebody live in there? Those that know will know. And I think worrying too much about I need to be hidden in the corner so nobody sees me, nobody bothers me, I think you're worrying too much. I think just do you. Just, if you want to paint your van a beautiful colour or you want to have some design on it, do it. Don't worry about, oh, but somebody's going to know I live in my van. Be proud to live in your van. Be proud. Don't shy away from the fact that you live in a van. It's who you are. Be proud of it. You don't have to show off about it. You don't have to like dance around your van and causing a scene and hanging out with 20 other vanners. Just be proud. Be proud that you live in a van and you're living your life and you're doing you. I think too many people worry about what other people think, and I think as long as you're being respectful you know, you're cleaning up your mess, or I know a lot of you do what I do, and if we pull into a parker and it is messy, we pick the rubbish up. And that's our way of giving back for a free parker. And I personally do not like seeing rubbish floating about, because I love wildlife, and plastic bags and anything plastic and tins or anything dangerous like that, it kills and harms our wildlife. So for me, there's two reasons why I do it. I don't give a shit if people think I've dropped the rubbish. I know I haven't dropped the rubbish. But if people outside want to think that I'm scuzzy and I live in a shit tip, let them believe that. I don't really care what people think. I've never really cared what people think about me. Contrary to belief, I'm seeing a lot of language saying the van life uniform, whatever that means. I guess it's people dressing up. As soon as they get in a van, they start to change and become more hippified. I can rest assure you now, I've had dreadlocks for 30 plus years. I've always been alternative. From a very young age, I've always had alternative thoughts as well, and always lived alternatively until I was sucked into the system, which is another story. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I think a lot of people who decide to do this way of life start to find themselves. I mean, I was lucky. I understood who I was at a very young age. And I think a lot of people, they get sucked into being, conformed into being a person, whether they get married, they have children, work, peers, whatever. And they're a little bit too scared to be who they really are. And then I guess age, as you get older, you realise, actually, I'm going to be me, I'm going to do me. And I think that's why a lot of people start to have an alternative way of life. They also start to think alternatively. And of course that will come out in the way you dress. So I think the people out there that are being a bit mean to people like us, and I hear what you're saying about a certain group, but I also believe that many people are starting to find themselves as they change and evolve while being on the road, because it really does. It pulls you out the system and it makes you think differently. And if you're already thinking a certain way, it will expand it. But stealth. I mean, I know we laugh and joke and we say we've painted our van green. That means you can't see us anymore, and you need magical powers to be able to see our van because it's hidden. Yeah, it blends into the forest because we tend to try and get out into as much nature as we can. We do blend in a little bit more with the environment. I think when our vans were white, they stand out. Even if you go and walk to the top of a hill, you could spot your van if it's white. A little bit harder if it's more in tone with nature. But I think this trying to be stealthy and living in a van, if you live full time in a van with no windows, that's not healthy for you. It's not healthy at all. You need sunlight, you need daylight, regardless whether you go outside a lot or not, because you got to remember winter time, you are probably spending more time in your van. But I would embrace the fact that you live in a van. I would, if you want to decorate the front and have it with loads of plants in and cushions and paint it beautifully, why not? Be proud that you live in a van. And if somebody comes knocking on your door and starts ranting and raving, oh, you know, what are you doing? You're homeless, you live in this van. Just be calm and just tell them your story. Tell them your story. They love it. They absolutely love it. I doubt very much you get the person banging on the door. We've never had it. I think the one time we have had a couple of knocks is because somebody absolutely loves the van and they want to talk to you. You know, there's a lot of people out there that admire people who are nomadic. I know there's a lot of people that are jealous, and so they'll be really negative towards us. But there's a lot of people out there who kind of want to break away from the system. They want to break away from the chains that they're being shackled to, you know. And when they come across people like us, be kind to them and talk to them about it. And if they are having a little bit of a rant at you, all you do is you just have to talk quietly back to them and say, listen, you know, you don't have to shout. We can, you know, if there's questions you want to ask, but I'm not doing any harm to anybody by living this lifestyle. It's not a new way of living. We've always been nomadic. Always. It's in our DNA to be nomadic. But I think we shouldn't shy away from it. I'm not saying we should be parked up with 20,000 flags flying off our van, or a massive big speaker blasting out, this is my way. But I think, like, don't be scared. Don't be scared to be living in your van. Don't be hiding away living in your van. I know a lot of you don't anyway, but I also know that some of you are a little bit, especially when it's your first, I'd say first few months out there on the road. You just got to be you. Right, I was right at the end there. So Steve's just come back in.
Hello, everybody.
I've probably waffled a bit more than I should have done, because I can see I'm nearly heading towards 17 minutes. But yeah, like I said, don't be scared to live in your van. Do you. Be proud to do it. But also be very respectful of your environment and the neighbourhood you're in. I guess that's it. So guys, tomorrow we leave for Scotland, so we will be bringing you so much more footage.
A few lives.
Yeah, we're hoping to go live. We might do a detour tomorrow. That is being cut. Shush. So until Sunday, guys, or if we do a live, stay safe out there and stay wild and safe travels.